Welcome back to Theo Views on Finance Friday. We're going to get it today. I didn't get the time to sit in front of the camera and make this video, so I'm going to make it on the go. So I'm sorry for all the stuff that you're seeing going by. Let me tell you this. So we're going to talk about buying a car, an affordable car, and how the process is. Buying your first car or buying a car in general, I want a lot of people to know that the best option is always to buy your car outright. You can always buy your car outright. That's always the best option. You always save more money. You will feel better having a car that you're not paying for. I can tell you that firsthand. Anyone that's paying for a car right now can tell you that off firsthand. Saying making payments is nothing, like no one is proud of making payments. So what I would recommend to anyone is always get a car that you can pay for cash. First thing first, just to understand why am I saying get a car that you can pay for cash, is that you're not going to have the headache of have to think about every month coming up with $200-$300, $600-$700. It all depends on the type of car that you're buying. Some people like to watch your neighbors or watch your friends and see the type of car that they're whipping and want to whip the same car. When you don't have that budget, you don't have that money yet. I'm saying yet because probably you are going to get it, but you're not at that stage as yet. You need to know your level. You need to know where you at. Like for me, I'm in that field that I made a decision way back where it was a wrong decision of financing a car. I'm still paying for this car up to now. But guess what? That car is about to be paid off soon. And I can tell myself that I will never finance the next car again. You know how many times they call me to come in, hey, Mr. Bunting, come in and get a 2020 car. You can get a car with no down payment, nice car, And I'm like, no, I ain't doing that. You guys trying to put me back in the system. And most people need to understand that you don't need to drive the same car that your cousin is driving. You don't need to drive the same car that your brother is driving. You don't need to drive the same car that you see anyone is driving. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. You need to know that you have a car that you can know that you're comfortable driving. It's going to take you from point A to point B. If you need a flashy car, a fancy car, save up your money and buy that car. If it will take you 7 years to buy a BMW with you paying $500 a month payment, know that you drive a crappy car for 7 years, but you're going to save that money just like how you were saving before to get that BMW. You're going to save it and pay cash. But guess what? When you're paying cash, you're going to get some discounts too as well. Because you can talk down the price. You can always tell them, hey, I'm going to pay for this car cash. Listen, I don't want a dealer fees. I don't want this. I don't want that. Let's take down the price. And then they're going to probably deal with you on a whole different spectrum. You got to know that. And all for all the parents that giving their first car to these kids, their first car, and telling them that, oh, I'm buying this car for you. But then you let them pay the payments. You parents are like, your parents, you are evil. Don't be taking out no car for your kid and tell them, oh, I'm buying your first car with a bow on it. And then you bring that car home. And when you bring that car home to them, then you let them know that, oh, when the payment comes every month, you got to pay the payments. No, you bought that car as a gift. Why are you giving them a gift and then let them pay for it? That's pure evil. You can't give me a gift and then tell me I'm going to pay for it. And let these kids know that they don't need to, their first car, they don't need to take out payments on these cars. Take out a beater. You just started to learn to drive. Take out a beater because like 75% of these new drivers are going to have an accident. Are they going to hit something? Are they going to scratch the car? Let them have a beater right now that they know what it is. Buy them a $1,500 to $4,500 car. Let them drive the car out. Let them see what car is like. Let's see how they're going to maintain the car, how they're going to treat the car, and then we move from there. But don't buy these kids a brand new car unless you have money like that. Now, hey, listen, If you have it like that and you can buy your child a car and buy it cash, let them know that cash is the best way to go when you're buying a car. I know a lot of people say, oh no, I buy the car for them, let them make payments because they got to build their credit. There's multiple ways how to build credit. You don't have to have a car to build your credit. You got to let these kids know. Like for me, when I just moved here, my mom bought me a car, $1,500. Car was driving, had a few issues, but guess what? When the car started to have issues, I didn't want the next car to have that's gonna give me issues. So I went and financed a car, and I keep on paying, and I keep on paying, and I keep on paying. The car started giving me a little issue again, and I financed the next car. Then I keep on paying, and I keep on paying. Then I go back in now to do something at a dealership. Then they convince me, stupid young me, hey, you know what? Leasing car is good. Leasing a car is never good. Never. You know what these people told me? I'm going to tell you what they told me. And I fall for it too. Because I think I was stunting my boss, you know. These people tell me, you know what? These rich people are hiding stuff from us. They say, you know what they do? They lease their cars. And when they lease their cars, they turn it back in every 3 years or every 2 years. They turn it back in and get a new car. So that's why when you see all these rich people with cars, that's what they're doing. They're just leasing these cars, and it's cheaper to lease. And I said, word? And he's like, yeah, man, this is the best option. Leasing your car, it's cheaper with the payments, and it's just better overall. You know, you don't pay for the maintenance of the car. You bring it in, you get free oil change, you get a free car wash for the lifetime of the car. So I'm like, damn, that's good. But guess what? That's when the guy caught me. He knew he got me. Young guy coming in, he run my credit was good. He was like, yeah, man, you can afford this. So little I know that was the worst decision ever. He didn't tell me that, hey, after you drive a certain amount of miles, you got to pay for those miles when you're turning in back that lease car. Any scratches, you got to pay for that too. He didn't tell me a lot of stuff. I thought my payments was, and this was my fault. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I was happy, and a lot of kids do this. They're so happy that they're not even looking how much the payments are. The payments was $350. I could have went and got a regular car for that same payment. But I guess I was bringing over negative equity from my other car. But they screwed me. Because I should have talked them down more. Even if I was taking a deal, I should have talked them down for even paying like $250. But they got me for $350. And I thought it was $250. I thought it was $250. For some reason, after 5 days, I'm like, I look back on this thing. And then I was like, yo, I can't afford $350. So I got stuck in a $350 rate. When I found out it was $350, I went back to the dealership. I was like, yo, I'm giving you guys back this car. I can't pay $350. I know my budget. This guy told me, you know what he said? He said, you're already paying $350. We know you can pay that. We see that you never missed a payment. He looked at how I was paying before. He looked how I was paying before. My payment before was $350. So he gave me a car for $350 that I could afford. He screwed me. But guess what? I'm trying to make sure that you guys don't get screwed as well. Never take out a car that's finance. Never take out a car that's lease. Buy a beater. Don't worry about what your neighbor have. Buy a beater first. And if you want to buy that expensive car that you see, buy the beater for like $2,000. Save up that money. Then buy that expensive car yourself. Because guess what? You're going to be so free knowing that you're not making payments. And I know a lot of people like, oh, I don't want to take a beater because it's going to break down. Yo, I got a 1993 Ford Ranger. I paid $750 for that. And that car, that truck is running like a champ. Like a champ. Every time I try to upgrade it, try to like spend some money on it because I'm like, it's doing so well, something happens. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to drive it dirty. Don't take care of it. I'm not telling you to do that with yours, but I'm just talking about mine. Getting off topic. But, yo, these old cars will run. For Caribbean people, you know, in your country, a car can have 1,000,000 miles. They're still driving that car and it's running. Why can't we drive all these cars to 300,000 miles and they're running? You just need to spend some money on it and work on your car. And it as much as you work on your car, the car will work with you. Let me tell you that. Work on your car and your car will work with you. Sometimes we don't have the patience. The water pump goes out. You're like, oh man, this car is overheating all the time. I can't work with this car. Sometimes it's just a simple sensor in this car. When I bought my car, they didn't know what was going on with the car because the car was overheating all the time. But guess what? It was just a little hose that needs to be fixed. And I just bought something, fix it, and I got that truck now for 3 years, matter of fact. 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, 2 years, somewhere there. I never had to do anything more to it. I just changed the oil, ride it. This thing is the champ. I'm telling you, don't get fooled by the system thinking that you have to have a nice car, expensive car. I have to keep up with the Jones that live next door because they have a new car. It's tax season. They went and get a car. Yeah, you know what I just said? It's tax season. After tax season, they can't make the payments. They got to return that car. You're going to see in the middle of the night a tow truck coming, towing that car out of the yard. They're repoing that truck, a repo truck. One thing I learned, man, don't watch what people have. And hey, listen, if you are, say you can't afford a finance car, say you can't afford the cash car because you're having some problems, you don't have the money right now, you need to get from point A to point B, and you buy a car and you're financing it. All right, okay, you're financing it, it's already gone. If you know you normally should pay $200, try to pay $400 on that car. Get it out of the system, get it out of your hair as quick as possible. Try to cut down the interest that they're charging you. Try to make sure that you're getting this car paid off. So even if something goes wrong with it, it's your car, you can still spend some money on it, and you don't have to think about, oh, something's wrong with this car. You know what? You're gonna stuck in the system again because you don't want to fix the car. Because you're saying, I can't be paying $200 a month, plus I'm spending $1,000 just to fix it because the transmission went out. So I gotta get a new car. Then you're gonna go with a negative equity and a newer car. So you're gonna be stuck in a cycle just paying for cars for the rest of your life. So you're never gonna finish paying off a car, because as soon as something goes wrong with the other car, then you're gonna change it again. Then your payment was $200. Then your payment go up to $250 because of negative equity. Then the next time you do it, your payment is like $350 because they're gonna stack a higher amount on that son of a gun right now. All I'm telling you is, if you're financing, pay that sucker off quick.